We have, in all of us, what I might call programmed time. It's the time that we live our lives on. We do our dutiful things. It's the time that goes fast. When we say, I can't believe how the time has gone, it's this programmed time that goes fast. We spend it well, we go to work, we make our meals, we go to bed. Then there are these moments that you can take that are harder to do, which is extraordinary time. It's time kind of outside of time. And this walk was one of those stretches of time where I said, no, I'm just going to stop my program time. I'm going to do this thing that a lot of people think is unusual and a little bizarre. I'm going to walk to New York. I'm going to walk out my door with a little bag on. Should a person of my age even do that kind of thing, you know? Like, that's what vagabonds do, you know? It had a richness about it. And I could tell you stories that went on for hours about each day. And I met in those span of 26 days, like 12 to 15 people who I consider to this day to be friends. We are still in contact. I will be in contact with them 10 years from now. What other 26-day span of your life do you make 12 to 15 friends? Where I'm like, some of those days had a richness of months in my normal life, my programmed life period. And why was that? Just because I walked out my door with a different attitude and embarked on something in a different manner. It's funny, it made me realize that we have a kind of a shared vocabulary about sadness and grief and depression and nervousness or anxiety. We have a great vocabulary about all those states of mind. But when it comes to, oh my God, I had this like rapturous experience where I felt like I should sob, but out of total happiness. And I don't know why it happened. And I'm sitting in a bar eating lunch and it's pouring rain outside and I'm on this walk and this happened to me. Like, people are like, really? You know? And I had so many experiences like that. And I describe one of them, it's the chapter title, Rapture on the Bayonne Bridge, when I'm coming out of Staten Island, I start ascending the Bayonne Bridge and I just look up and the whole island of Manhattan is there. And I was just like, the word overcome, something overcame me, something overwhelmed me. I walked out the door at a very fraught moment in our history, and much of that is still equally fraught now, which was post-COVID, or amid COVID and all of the tensions that brought about right after a very contested election, weeks basically after the siege of the Capitol, the insurrection in the Capitol, which was 9 blocks from my house. I saw all of that play out. Literally, I was there that day when all of that played out. I didn't go inside. I wasn't there. I was there as a witness to it. The whole George Floyd death, the tearing down of statues in various parts of the country, the whole discussion about who are we as a people? Are we a bad country? Is our beginning story a bad one? All that stuff was just so ripe, as it is ripe now. So I kind of walked into that and went to think about it and look at it, really. But one of the lessons there was the difference it makes to meet people of different persuasions, different viewpoints, person to person, and not see them as the kind of flattened, abstract figment that you see on Facebook or Twitter, where they're just, each of us is embodied by our view on a few things. And then okay, so this guy I meet might say some things that are a little off-putting to me, and yet, boy, he has some fantastic tractors in his garage, which I love, or in his barn, and we start talking about all these other things, and off we go, the charms that person had were outweighed any other views he had. And that is actually normal experience, right? It's just that we've stepped away from those kind of common ground settings like that. The whole walk, which is really kind of the essence of the book, was a kind of a gratitude for just being in this place, whatever the place it is, the banks of the Susquehanna, banks of the Delaware, someone's barn, whatever, and having that sense of thankfulness of being able to look at these things and giving yourself the freedom to be astonished, amazed by them.